How are you doing this evening, my friend?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm actually very, very good. Let me Oh shoot, where's there it is. Okay. Yes, Zoom. Always a bit of setup every time I do this. At least for the first
And you're
first.
getting better every show.
God, I hope so. There we go. There's Wendell live.
Hey, how you doing, everyone?
Oh man, it's good to see you, man. I know I've wanted you on the show for a while, and here we are finally.
Well,
And
well, the topic of travel is like, as I was saying to Drone earlier, is my middle name. So I can't sit back and watch on this one. So I live to travel.
you do.
Yes.
Has that been a thing for a long time, or is it a recent development?
It's something that probably since I could afford it, which was like starting in the 80s. This past week, as a matter of fact, I just spent a week in Vegas. Of course, I was there for a conference, but I spent some extra time there. And now I'm spending a week here in San Diego.
Ah, very good. You're there right now.
Yeah, so
Sweet.
well, really, San Marcos, which is about 45 minutes north.
Oh,
So
okay, okay,
yeah.
awesome. That's fantastic. Is it also a conference? You say? Are you?
No, this is a long story, and so I won't take up a lot of time in your show on this one. But I live in Baltimore, and my wife lives in San Marcos, California. So it's just as I said, and so here I am in San Marcos, and she's in San Francisco. she'll be here to she'll be here tomorrow, though. So
Oh, I was gonna say, surely you've got a meetup planned.
yeah, she'll be here tomorrow.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, and there's a whole story behind that, isn't
yeah, there is.
there?
It's pretty boring though. So
Yeah, your choice as to whether or not you want to go into that. This is your time.
oh well, let me just say so. Traveling, and then you ask, gee, what's your favorite place? It's pretty much the last place I've been to. I've been to a lot of places. I was very fortunate to do a lot of good personal travel. And then in my job, I had an international job, so I got to go to places I never thought I'd get to go to. I've been to Saudi Arabia, I've been to Qatar, UAE, China, Australia, New Zealand. I just love it. And the best part, Jim, one of the reasons I love it is learning the culture, understanding the culture. So you go to another place, and your first reaction might be, "Why do they do that? That's stupid." but no, but once you understand, here's their culture, and here's why they do things, and it really makes sense. And don't fight it. I mean, it's just to learn the culture. So.
Oh yeah, you can't fight it. You can't fight it.
So I just got back in May. I can't remember why I picked this, but in May I went to Belgium. I was there for about 10 days and had never been there before. Never knew you could pay $75 for a pound of chocolate. Uh, Now I didn't, okay, but I did notice that you could do that. Went to Brugge, spent some days in Brugge, and then a day in Ghent. Antwerp was my favorite. I just enjoyed Antwerp the best, and then ended up in Brussels. And every one of those towns is different. It's very easy to. The most amazing thing in Belgium was the ability to travel from one town to another in just a matter of an hour or so.
Oh, no kidding. Absolutely. No, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. The one thing I liked about Brussels was it seemed just so laid back. You know, it was what you kind of
Yes.
romanticized Paris being, where you're sitting out in a cafe and it's just maybe ordering some Fritz and just having a good old time watching the world go by. I wasn't prepared for that.
Yeah. So, just as a side note, while I was there, one of the things I do is take a lot of pictures. And so I came back with all these pictures. I said, I need to put these in a video. So I put together my cover video of Stepping Out, Joe Jackson, and all the pictures I used in that music cover were from my trip to Belgium. So I did two things at once. So
Oh, that's so cool.
yeah,
That is so cool. Well, I'm so with you, man. I mean, because I love to travel as well. I don't have an international job, so I don't get that sort of luxury. But God, you made me want to go other places. And of course, oh, I can't even talk about that because that's
That's
tomorrow
true.
night.
That's tomorrow. But one of the things, a lot of people, I'll talk to folks who haven't traveled, and one, I don't know if the word is scared or hesitant, because gee, what about the language? Language is not an issue. You can work the language issue. Well, how do I get there? You get there the same way, Jim, as you get to Florida.
Yep.
You get to the airlines and you find yourself a ticket. Mm-hmm. And then say, well, where do I stay? Same place as you stay in the United States. You find a hotel and you stay. And I've never had a bad trip. As a matter of fact, one time, here a real quick story.
Sure.
I was in Israel, in Tel Aviv, and me and a buddy were there having dinner at one of these outdoor cafes right there on the Mediterranean. I had a little purse that I carry all my stuff in. And I would say it was about a half a mile from my hotel. So we finish up dinner. We walk back to the hotel. I get back to the hotel. I go, oh, crap. I left my purse there. Okay, my man purse. I'm on the 40th floor of this hotel. I zoom down the hotel. I run the half a mile there. And the guys are in the kitchen going, oh, is this yours? Yeah, we found it. We were just keeping it for you. So, and Jim, this had everything. Had my passport, my money, everything.
Oh, man.
So, I've been very fortunate. Have not had a bad story, and I encourage everybody. If you're reluctant, then go to your United Kingdom. Your first trip. If you've never been to Europe and gee, I'm hesitant, go to the United Kingdom. It's a little easier because everybody does speak something that sounds like English. Okay.
Well, sometimes you got to listen carefully too.
There's a lot of history there, and it will only whet your appetite and say, "Gee, I want to go someplace else." Real quick, Jim. My trip in Belgium, everybody spoke English.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, Belgium is sort of split in half, and the northern half of the country speaks more Dutch, and the southern speaks more French, and they each get offended if you try to speak Dutch in the French area or French in the Dutch area, so they all just speak English.
I hear that. Yeah. What was I going to say about that? Oh, yeah. And not only that, but the UK is a great launching pad if you decide to. Yeah. Because in fact, we did stay the night near London, but we could have just as easily turned back, and gone back to the the continent, for lack of a better term, got off the island. And if you were going to do it in reverse, it'd be so easy. You wouldn't even have to stay anywhere. You could just, rent a car, dabble over there for a while, come right back in the tube or on the ferry, and you'd be good to go.
Well, I have friends in London who will catch the tube on Friday night after work, go to Paris, have dinner Friday night in Paris because you're there within 2 hours, stay overnight, and then come back. So you're right. It's a great launching pad. So people do ask me, gosh, if you could only go one more place, where would you go again? And it would be Australia. Australia was just, the people were very nice. Sydney is a wonderful place. It's close to Melbourne. And in Melbourne, they have a lot of wineries. I'm into the wine. If you're not, maybe you need to find someplace else. But
well, apparently you didn't go to Darwin. I'm just ripping Brad.
Yes. So Australia is a place to put on your list if you haven't.
It definitely is on my list.
The people there will tell you, and it's true, we're on the ass end of the world. Okay. And the reason I say that, it does take forever to get there. I live, as I said, I live in Baltimore. It's literally, I've done this trip a few times. It's literally 24 hours from the time I leave my house to the time I land in Australia.
Wow. Wow.
It's just a long trip. So
no kidding. And it would be just as long for, those of us in the center of the country, because we're going to end up on the coast to take off from there. So yeah, it's definitely on my bucket list, man. I want to go to Australia real bad. It's on the wife's bucket list as well. So I'm glad to hear that it was such a great trip for you.
Thank you. Yeah. So.
Bodes well for us. Well, I don't know that I have any more questions, but God, man, what a lucky situation you found yourself in,
Yeah, I was
liking
very
to travel.
fortunate.
Yeah, and being
Very
able to
fortunate.
travel. My wife, you say you've been to China as well?
I have was it 2 years ago? I went to China. Wonderful trip. I got a chance to. What happened was a gentleman I know who's a former Chinese citizen. He's now a U.S. citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Goes over there and takes some people with him, and we ended up visiting five. I think it was five places.
Yeah.
But Tibet was the best. He got us into Tibet, which is, if you're not familiar with the history back there, China had, Tibet is really a different country, but China's trying to make it China. And talking about culture, there were 20 of us with this gentleman who went, and as the stereotypical tour guide, he'd always have a little flag or something that he would carry with him. And but we also always had a local tour guide. When we got to Tibet, they said you have to put the flag away because there are no flags permitted of any kind.
Wow.
You're not allowed to have it. So.
And that actually brings up a good point that I was going to bring up when we're talking about traveling. Just, if you're afraid to travel to, say, Europe or a country that, you're fearful that you'll be totally lost. There's a lot to be said about travel agents in that arena, right? Because you can find people that will help you. If you've got the means to do it, but you're like, I don't know, I'm going to be lost. Find a good travel agent, and they'll set you up in a place that won't allow you to feel like you're, totally lost. Mm-hmm.
That's right. You're exactly right. So, again, I encourage everybody, if you've ever hesitated, just go take the jump and go and embrace the culture and have a good time, and you'll never regret it. So.
Yeah. And like I said, you don't have too many chances. We never know when our number's up, so get in there.
That's it. Every day's a gift.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so.
Well, thanks so much, Wendell. It was a real pleasure hearing about your travels. It's actually got me thinking about traveling more now.
There you go. Well, you're welcome. Jim, you're doing a great job. I want to thank you so much. It gives me something better to do at night, as opposed to, just sitting around the house. I enjoy your show. I enjoy tuning in and listening. And there's always somebody that comes on and makes me laugh. So great job. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Kind words indeed. I appreciate that, my friend. We'll have to have you back on sometime soon. Sound good?
You got it. Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. Take care, and friendly skies and all.
You got it.
We'll see you, Wendell. Now that'll be my copyright strike right there. I just hijacked somebody's tagline. You too could be a guest on this show at any time. We're live every weeknight, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All you've got to do is hit that subscription button and ring that bell right now. Oh, and while you're at it, why not share this video? I'm sure my guests would appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you live.